We go to Auckland's Middlemore Hospital now, where a family is demanding answers after their elderly father waited in agony for more than 5 hours in the emergency room to see a doctor. Labour MP and son, Sua William Sio, posted a graphic photograph of his father, Lolisio Pupu's cheekbone cut to the bone, on Facebook. He and his siblings say the fact it took 5 hours for the 79-year-old to be seen by a doctor and another 5 hours for him to be treated show an appalling state of our health system. Zach Fleming has the story, and if you're watching and you're squeamish, a warning: some of you may find the injury disturbing.
79-year-old Lolisio Pupu's smiling now, but this time yesterday he was busy waiting.
Great people when they were attentive, but it's just, you could see they're understaffed, under-resourced.
That's his daughter, Norma. She was busy waiting with him, waiting for a doctor to look at this deep gash on his face. If you're listening and not watching, it's around 5 centimetres long on his left cheek. You can see his cheekbone.
He fell on top of the rowing machine.
She says gym staff tried to call an ambulance, but the St John operator wasn't convinced Lolisio needed one.
One, he's an elderly gentleman. Secondly, she was told that he was having cancer treatment and then third, it's an injury, a major injury. They're telling her he's gashed right through. We can see the cheekbone.
So Norma took him to Middlemore Hospital in Auckland's Manukau herself. But she says when she got there, it was more of the same. Hurry up and wait.
That was 12 o'clock. And we didn't actually see a doctor until about maybe 5:30. And that was just to clean the wound about then. And then we waited another 4.5 hours for him to actually have an x-ray done, which is what we asked for in the first place. She apologised and said, yes, that should have been done. But they're just busy.
So 9 to 10 hours to have his wound, which was through to the bone, cleaned and x-rayed. The government set a 6-hour target for people to be seen by a doctor at an emergency department. That was brought in 2009 and cut patient deaths in half. Lolisio was seen within that target, but his family doesn't think that's a high enough bar.
We're amidst a room of other people who are also equally making the similar complaints. Why is it taking so long? Why? And this is an accident and emergency space.
We asked Dr. Vanessa Thornton, the acting medical officer at County's Manukau District Health Board, if a 5-hour wait is good enough.
Obviously, we prioritise our patients, so the sickest and most urgent patients will be seen first, if you'll understand the triage categories. And yesterday we had quite a lot of emergencies happening around the time he arrived, unfortunately. But obviously it's very distressing for families to wait for a long time to be seen.
So essentially, the two women are in agreement that there is a shortage of staff. Dr. Thornton says more money would always be welcomed.
If people said, would you like a whole lot more staff? Would you like a whole lot more facility? I don't think any doctor or nurse would say no in any service, not just emergency services. Our services are very busy at the moment. Emergency services, so is the theatre services, and all of our services have been under a lot of pressure in the last 3 or 4 months.
And tomorrow, Finance Minister Stephen Joyce unveils the government's budget. I asked Norma how she'd feel if she turns on the news tomorrow and hears the health sector's only been given enough money to keep the status quo.
Well, it's our basic needs. How important and how valuable are human life and human well-being. And if we're not making our health a priority, then what else are we making a priority over it?
For Checkpoint, Zach Fleming.
And we'll hear more from Counties Manukau DHB and their Acting Medical Officer of Health after 6 o'clock tonight on Checkpoint. A short time ago, St John issued a statement about their decision not to send an ambulance. Adrian Haig, who is Assistant Director Operations Clinical Control Services, said, and I quote, the call was managed according to internationally recognised triage processes, and that Lolisio was not deemed to have a life-threatening condition, and the nurse's advice was given according to best practice. Lolisio had surgery to his face today and is likely to be discharged from hospital before the end of the week.